What's going on, people of the world? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the International Podcast. This is your very organic host, Noah Williams, always bringing you the latest heat, what's hot in the street, and about all the games of the week. Thanks for tuning in. We're about to get it cracking. Okay, so today we have the Week 2 wrap-up of the NBA season. I've still been as entertained as ever. I think this ball has been great so far. I think it's been everything that we've been hoping for as fans, as followers of the game. Breath of fresh air that we finally have the NBA back. So we're 2 weeks in now, and we're kind of seeing some teams catching a little rhythm, some teams not so much, some players just getting onto the court. But through these first 2 weeks, sitting at the top of each conferences, we have the Los Angeles Lakers at the top of the Western Conference at 6-2, and the Philadelphia 76ers are at the top of the Eastern Conference at 6-1. I don't think that's much of a surprise to anybody. I think we knew what Philly was, especially with adding Doc and Seth Curry and a couple other guys. I think we knew Philly was an elite team in the East. And I spoke on that last week as well, on how good Philly really is. I think Joel Embiid is really making more crucial shots, crucial moments, stepping up and being that leader that I feel like he was kind of young. I think people put a lot of pressure on Joel Embiid to be that leader, to be that guy. Why are you laughing around and joking around so much? But, I think he's kind of grown into that leader, the guy who can, encourage his teammates, get his teammates going. And I think Ben Simmons does it too, but I think Ben Simmons does it in his own way. But I really like the direction this team's going right now. Maybe if they could add one more piece, I don't even think they need a James Harden. I think if they could add one more piece, like a scorer, maybe like a Kelly Oubre kind of guy who can just go and get their own bucket. But, right now you got Embiid putting up 23 a night and Tobias putting up 19 a night. And Tobias was the Eastern Conference Player of the Week this week. So, hopefully he could keep that production up. I think that was where they've fallen short at for these last few years on their playoff runs, is not having that consistent scoring from Tobias, because we all know Embiid is the number one scoring option. Embiid's going to get his. Embiid's going to get his 23 to 28 a night, And Simmons could be anywhere from 7 points to he could have a 30-point night, you know what I mean? So you never really know what you're going to get from Ben Simmons on the scoring side, but you need that consistent number 2 or number 3 guy, and that should be Tobias Harris for Philly. But, it is what it is, though. Hopefully he could keep it consistent, and he was Eastern Conference Player of the Week again, so you got to tip your hat to him, and hopefully he can keep this production up. The Sixers are at top of the Eastern Conference right now. So moving west to the Western Conference, it's the Los Angeles Lakers, and I think they're just gelling, man. They look good right now, even with their new guys, Schroeder and Harrell. They look good. They look like they've been hooping together for a minute, and I think that's good. The team's got a lot of confidence coming off that ring ceremony, and Brown's got them boys playing, man. And I was kind of concerned because he had that ankle injury, but he's fine now, averaging 23, 8, and 7. So it's no issue for LeBron right now. AD's right behind him with 22, 9, and 3 with 1.1 blocks. So these boys are looking good. I'm not worried about the Lakers at all. I think they are undoubtedly the best team in the NBA right now, and we'll see how the rest of the season shapes out. But as smooth as these guys are looking, as confident as they're looking, I don't see anybody with enough firepower, experience, and just raw talent to beat them. And their defense is phenomenal too. And you got your bench, Kuzma and Caldwell Pope. Them boys are playing. They're just hot right now. Everybody just got to stay healthy because, it still is early. I think we're kind of just super excited to have a real NBA season back, that everybody's really making a big deal out of every moment here. But, it is exciting, but we do have a lot of time left in the season. It's week 2 of, I don't know how many, 30-some maybe, but yeah, we just got to remember that as well. So yeah, we got the Los Angeles Lakers sitting on top of the Western Conference, Philadelphia sitting at the Eastern Conference. And they announced the players of the week for week 2, and they named Steph Curry, Western Conference Player of the Week, and Tobias Harris, Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Now, I'm not sure if Tobias deserved it. I don't know. I'm not, he's averaging 19 a game. But on the Western Conference side, Steph Curry, man, 62-pointer after the world's doubting him. And he's got his back against the wall. Everybody's saying, Steph ain't it. Steph ain't it. Now, that's how you respond. That's how a superstar generational talent responds. Like Steph, yo, good shit, boy. Like he really did it with that one. And I'm happy that he did to silence that hate just a little bit because I think people just really, really hate on Steph Curry and I don't understand why. Like just like how the LeBron hate, like I don't understand how you could just hate on these dudes. Like Steph is somebody who literally revolutionized the game of basketball, inspired millions of kids to play and influence games. It's crazy, and I feel like everybody in the NBA really has respect for Steph. And it seems like from the outside looking in, somebody who follows the sport and follows the culture of the sport, seems like Steph Curry is a very well loved dude in the culture of the sport. I think he's cool with damn near everybody in the league. I feel like everybody respects him and acknowledges him for who he is, and that's the greatest shooter ever. Like no questions, debate about it. And I feel like he's somebody that took basketball when he came in, and when the time he leaves, basketball will be in a higher place because of some of the work that he contributed to it. You know what I mean? I think that is huge. So it's like to hate on somebody like that, I don't know. You got to be a different breed. But that's how I feel about Steph Curry. I really feel like Steph Curry is a generational player. I feel like Steph Curry changed the game of basketball and the way it's played. And his influence is really crazy because he looked like a regular dude, like anybody walking down the street. So yeah, big hats off to Steph Curry for what he did, and hopefully he keep this type of crazy production going on all year. Lord knows he's going to need it with that Golden State team, man. I just feel bad because I think with Steph and Clay, they're right back in that top 3 seed in the West, contention. I think that's where they would be at. But, without Clay, that's huge. That's a huge loss and that's a huge hit. So now Steph's just going to have to weather that load, get these young boys balling. And I understand Draymond is like a rally the troops kind of guy and do what you got to do kind of guy. But, bro, you got to score the ball. Like, yeah, it all sounds good. It all sounds nice. But you have to score the ball at the end of the day. Like, yeah, I get it, bro. You get rebounds. You dive on the floor. You pick your teammates up. You're going to fight for your teammate. You're going to take a technical for your teammate. And that's great. Those are great teammate tactics that you have. You feel me? Oh, you're going to get in the right position for your team, be a good passer, all that, the whole thing, the whole shebang. But you have to be able to score the ball. You feel me? Like, even if you could just give like 15 a night, if you could give Steph 15 a night, shooting like 48% from the field, bro, like that is all you need to do. But you can't, Steph had a 62-point night. So that's a little different. But you put up 1 point that night, bro. You can't even hit both of your free throws. So it's like, that's huge. You feel me? Like that is very, very huge. And I think that even if they want to make the playoffs this year, Draymond is going to have to step into that. Because Oubre and Wiggins, you feel me? Them boys are struggling right now. But Draymond, this is supposed to be your team with Steph. Like, this is your shit, bro. Like, you don't have to defer to Oubre and Wiggins. Those two boys, yeah, they're talented, but they haven't proven shit in the NBA. So, like, Draymond. And I also understand you only a couple games in off injury, whatever, but you got to step into it a little bit more, bro. Be more aggressive with the scoring because you don't have a KD no more. You don't have a Clay no more. Like, you can't expect Steph to weather that whole load. That's two all NBA players. You can't. Come on, man. So, yeah, we just going to have to see how this all unfolds with Golden State this year. I think, Steph might be in for an MVP type season the way it's looking now, but we'll just see how it all shakes out. And this week, okay, our next segment is going to be called Story of the Week. So this week's Story of the Week is James Harden and the Houston Rockets. We all know about how James Harden was desperately trying to get out of Houston. He was bidding and trying to get to Brooklyn and Philly, and we made a whole big thing about it, and it's understandable as to why he wanted to get out. But I think looking from an executive standpoint or a GM standpoint, I think that this is the best team built around James Harden since he's been in Houston. I know the record doesn't show for it yet, but look at this. They signed to John Wall, or they traded for John Wall, not being 100% sure exactly what he was going to be. Well, so far, through 3 games, I think he might have played 3 or 4 games, he's averaged 21 and 6. That's all you need from a point guard. You don't need your point guard trying to shoot more than James, trying to take possession away from James. No. James, you get your 30, bro. Get your 30 every night. Don't worry about that other shit. Now, here's what took this team to the other level. what they didn't have ever before, is a Christian Wood. This dude is averaging 23 and 10. He's outscoring AD and out-rebounding AD. To put it into perspective, that's how crazy he's going right now. Outscoring and out-rebounding and getting more blocks a game than AD. And we say that AD, and ESPN had AD ranked as the number 2 overall player. Now, I know stats isn't everything, and it doesn't show the complete story of the game, but I feel like that puts a little bit of perspective on there when you really think, like, yo, Christian Wood has better stats than Anthony Davis all the way across the board, playing down in Houston. Now, another big thing that I think Houston did was signing DeMarcus Cousins. It was a low risk, I feel like high reward, because we don't know what we're going to get from Boogie. Now, that is both a good and a bad thing, because I feel like I'm a Boogie believer. I think he has a lot of heart, a lot of grit, and I think he loves the game of basketball, and I think he's very talented as a skilled ball player. I don't think he's just a big dude. I think he actually has skill and knows how to score the ball and play the game. With that being said, his injuries might have affected some of his mental confidence, some of his play style might have limited his abilities and athleticism a bit. We don't know. He only plays maybe 15, 20 minutes a game right now because they're really trying to get him acclimated and get him back going. But I would expect him to probably work himself into the starting lineup by the end of the year and being an efficient, 8 to 12 point a night guy, hopefully. I would love to see that from him. And I think that's what they need at a center. And they need a guy who could protect the rim. Like, Boogie, if you could just protect the rim, bro, let Christian and them boys, PJ Tucker and them, let them handle all that other stuff. Like, bro, Boogie, protect the rim. And I think they'll be cool. Like, I think this is a really, really good roster they built, but I do think they do need one more wing scorer like Covington. Like, losing Covington was huge for them. If they could get like a Covington or a Josh Richardson or get a Terrence Ross, I think those kind of guys, the Jay Crowders, I think those kind of guys is the ones that really play key roles on championship teams and the deep playoff run teams, like that Miami Heat team. I think Jay Crowder, with Miami losing Jay Crowder, they're not going to be nearly as good as they were. I'm just going to put it point plain and simple. Losing Jay Crowder and having him going to the Suns, that was a power shift right there. That was a power move. And I think with the acquisition of Jay Crowder and Chris Paul and the way them boys is playing right now, Devin Booker, they even got Ayton playing right now. All them boys is hooping right now. They're gelling. And CP's only going to get them boys better. I think Monty Williams is doing great right now with them as he did in the bubble. The Suns, depending on how hungry they are and how much of a dog Devin Booker really is, they might really do something really, really crazy this year. And I don't want to speak it yet. I don't want to say it yet because it's too early. It's too early. I don't want to say it yet, but I do think that the ceiling for the Phoenix Suns is very high. And it always is going to be when you have a player like Chris Paul and a scorer like Devin Booker and a rim protector like DeAndre Ayton and a wing defender like Mikal Bridges. They have everything that you need. Another great backup point guard who's a great defender and facilitator, and Javon Carter, West Virginia grad. Phoenix looks very, very good, and I know I'm forgetting somebody else too because I know that's not it for the squad. I know they got a couple dudes on the bench. I think Dario Saric or somebody else. They got a squad down there in Phoenix, and they need to be taken seriously. And our next segment will be the disappointment of the week. Unfortunately, the other night, when Brooklyn played Washington, it was a great game. Back and forth action. And Thomas Bryant, native of Rochester, New York, dunked the ball with about 23 seconds left. I believe, or maybe 19. I think it was 19 seconds left to put the Wizards up 1 point. They inbound the ball to Kyrie. He brings the clock down a little bit. He attacks, shakes and bakes, pulls up with a three, comes up short. The ball is tipped out to KD. KD secures the ball with about 6 seconds left, drives right, pulls up, right on the elbow area where KD likes to get his little jumpers from. Boom, bink, brick. Game over. Brooklyn loses, Washington wins. Kyrie, after what you said, bro, about I could look over there and I know he gonna hit the shot too, y'all have to deliver. both. Now I don't want to care. Oh, Kyrie should pass it. KD should pass it. No. Both of y'all got a shot. And KD, you my favorite player, bro. You feel me? KD, you my dog, man. Kyrie, you can hoop, bro. Proven. But y'all got to, come on. Y'all know y'all got to do it. That's why I said disappointment of the week. Y'all know y'all got to hit that shot. If one of y'all missed the other one, KD, you got to come through and hit it. So, yeah, man. That's it. That's all we got for this week. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I hope you all stay healthy, stay happy, stay organic during this wild time, and stay safe, man. Yeah, this is another episode of the International Podcast. Peace out.